Hello and welcome to the Can I Retire Now podcast with your hosts, Nick Russell and Becky Wagoner. I'm your podcast producer, RJ Malik. Nick and Becky, I see both of you are ready to go for another podcast. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw it to Nick. Why don't you take it away and tell us what you and Becky will be discussing on this edition of the Can I Retire Now podcast.
Thanks, RJ. So today we're going to talk about dying. No, that's not a great way to start.
It's spooky season.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, yeah, it's that time of year. No, you know how in a lot of episodes you pick on me that we talk about taxes all the time?
There's always taxes.
There's always taxes. Well, there's also always paperwork. Even when you die, there's paperwork.
Death and taxes.
Death and taxes. So
okay.
This episode, we're going to talk about estate planning, what it really means, why it's just not for the wealthy or elderly, which is a common misconception. Just making sure that you prepare your estate to make it easier for your loved ones.
And so that your financial legacy is what you intend it to be.
Yes, because it's very easy for that to go awry.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have this, I don't know, laissez-faire attitude around estate planning.
Okay. Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta have people fall into a few camps. Laissez-faire, just literally whatever happens after I die happens.
Wherever the cards fall.
Wherever the cards, yeah. You have some that are conscious of it and worried about it, but haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And then you have the people that have done stuff and taken care of it. So
that covers it, yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we start at the beginning? Like, why does it matter?
Okay.
So to clarify, estate planning isn't just about your death. It's also
not?
No.
Okay.
Oh, babe, we've done our estate planning. You were present for this, though it's been a couple of years.
Okay.
Obviously when you pass away, you want to make sure your legacy and your estate all gets transferred appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also about control while you're living. If you say you lose capacity, you wind up in a nursing home, you wind up with memory care issues.
Okay.
It allows a lot of things to be taken care of on your behalf.
The way that you want them to be
The way you would like them to be. If you do your estate planning correctly,
okay,
they can be done the way you want. So this is about money, your health, and your legacy.
All right. Those are all important things. And you mentioned taxes, so probably taxes.
And a lot of taxes, yeah, of course. So what happens if you don't have a plan? Like, how does this play out in real life as I've seen it?
Yeah.
It's pretty ugly.
It just goes to the state, and then it can cause some issues, probably. I mean, timeline, it can take a long time.
Absolutely.
It can cost a lot of money.
Yep.
And there can be divides probably in your family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have seen all of those firsthand through clients, but even I think when my great aunt passed away it's been 7-8 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
She had a really simple estate, one investment account at a primary residence. Took 1.5 years for her estate to settle.
To go through probate?
Yikes. Because she didn't have anything.
Wow.
And so even though it was very simple stuff, and Florida tends to be a more simple state here for us, and she lived here. But yeah, it could get really out of control really fast. So let's focus on the group of people of those three groups that know it's important. Because I assume if someone's listening to this, they're acknowledging that they want information about estate planning, but they haven't done it yet. So like the I'll do it later people.
I assume that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's most people.
Okay.
Know it's important, but haven't done it yet.
All right.
So not having a plan, just like saving for retirement or anything else, means you have no control. You're just winging it.
I mean, you're dead. So.
Okay.
Well, I mean, not, I guess if it's like a medical or power of attorney, you're not, but yeah.
Yeah. So in some cases you're dead. In some cases you're not.
You wouldn't have control anyway, is my point. But.
Oh, well, it's interesting you say that.
Okay.
Because you can definitely have control posthumously.
That's true. I've seen enough. No, just
posthumously.
No,
that's
none
not
of that is right. But
no,
I have seen enough movies where there's like a dramatic reading of the will.
Yes, everybody's in the room. They're watching like the video.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to record a video where I'm like, for anybody watching this,
that tracks.
I have passed. Yeah, well, that's got to keep it fun.
Okay.
So you lose control. So what does that actually mean? It means that your estate and your assets, we'll talk about like if you pass as a very simple situation, the state gets to dictate and the court gets to dictate how your assets get transferred. So if it was a simple scenario like husband and wife, no kids, no outside family, you would think, okay, well, of course, the spouse would get it.
Mm-hmm.
But if other family members come out of the woodwork and go, well, Nick died, but he told me when he died, I was going to get this asset or this rental property, or he owed me 10 grand from the bet we had on who would live longer. I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
I've seen some weird stuff.
Okay.
It can get really, really ugly really fast. So you mentioned chaos for the family. You know, those dramatic will readings in the movies, they're not always that dramatic, but there are a lot of stressors in the family. Even through, you know, like even my great aunt, I use an example. She didn't have any kids. So my mom and my uncle were the closest with her, and she asked them to help. But now my mom and uncle lived in New Jersey at the time. She passed here.
Mm-hmm.
So them dealing with attorneys down here and back and forth, it just winds up being a mess.
Yeah. And at a time when everyone's probably high emotions, if you pass away,
Absolutely.
You're probably not at your like best and most easygoing point. I mean, we've seen that a few times too. You know, so that's it's important to, I guess it takes something off the table, right? You're taking care of something, so there isn't any arguments, there aren't any questions, you know, and things like that.
I'll give a brief, really good example of how this is done. So not only when you do all your estate planning and you have your funeral prepaid for and all of that, when my grandfather passed away, not only did he take care of all that, he had everything switched out, all his estate planning done. He left money with the funeral home to give to my mom and uncle to take us out to lunch after the service. We all went out and had Chinese food. Yeah. We ate at this Chinese restaurant that he would eat at right by where the funeral home was.
That's sweet.
And I think there were probably 20 of us there that all went out to eat. And it was really fun because then we all got to sit there and eat. And
he got to take you out to dinner one more time.
Yeah. It was really
sweet.
Cool. He did that. I mean, my grandfather passed away in December of 2005. So it's been 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I still think about that and want to make sure that that's something that I can do for our family. Like when I pass, it just seems like a fun thing.
Yeah.
So obviously family stress, no control. You want to talk about taxes? The amount of money people spend on probate lawyers, estate attorneys, all while grieving, it's brutal.
So and it just delays, it prolongs that period. I mean, we've had friends that have lost parents and then like you're dealing with it for a year. It's like, it's so hard to get closure when you're constantly.
Yeah, because it's not like, you know, a promotion at work or something you can be excited about. This is you're grieving.
Yeah.
And now you're also dealing with a boatload of administrative
paperwork
stuff that isn't normally your bread and butter, right? No. At least when people meet with me, all the annoyances of the paperwork and stuff, it's so they can retire and they can celebrate and they can go on vacation and all that. It's a little different. So
what do we need to know? What are the documents we need to do to die or age, or I don't even know how to finish this sentence. What do we need to worry about?
Well, you should know some of these. Some of these should sound familiar because since we did our planning.
Yes.
The first one's a will. So
everyone knows. I hope everyone knows what a will is.
Most people are familiar with the term will.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you remember what a will is?
It's a legal document.
Correct.
That dictates where assets and items should go per your wishes.
When
you pass away.
Die. Bingo.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Estate attorney in training.
Yeah, but we should mention this. We're not estate attorneys.
Oh, yeah.
So this is not legal advice. This is just what we know about it.
Let's scroll that beautiful disclosure on the bottom of the video. We're not estate attorneys. We're not here to give estate planning advice, just information.
Yeah.
This is used for entertainment purposes only.
Okay.
So within a will, you have a few little pieces. You have the executor.
Yeah.
That's the person you name to basically carry your wishes. Yeah. You can name guardians for your kids if they're minors within a will. But without a will, you die in a terminology called intestate, which means dying without a will. That's the legal term for it. And it's the first domino to create a lot of issues.
Okay.
Now, I will say a will does not do everything people think a will does. So
I was going to say that's where you can put like the details of like Susie gets the china. I mean, that's true. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So it takes care of a lot of physical things and accounts, but it can't do everything. What does it not take care of?
It doesn't take care of any like personal specifics that you want. And it doesn't.
What does that mean?
So let's say we passed away.
Okay.
We have a minor child.
Yeah.
Let's just pick a number, $1 million. She's going to inherit.
Wow. Okay.
Right? I
Sure.
don't know. Let's just say, I'm just picking a number.
Yeah.
Well, first, she can't get it now.
No.
So we need to give it to somebody with instructions
that it's
on when to give it to her.
For her. Yeah.
If we don't specifically state when and how, she'll get it on her 18th birthday. $1 million check right in your bank account.
Okay.
I would argue that the average 18-year-old should not get access to $1 million. Look, I love her to death and she's a very sharp kid, but I would make really dumb decisions at 18 with $1 million.
So a will can't. Okay.
It can't do any of those like nuances. So if someone says, like, for example, we pass away, I don't want her to get any money until she's 25 outside of assistance for paying for college, health, education, maintenance, support, those types of things. And then from 25 to 35, let's give her 1/10 of that money every year for 10 years.
Okay.
Like so a will can't do.
But a trust, which I looked at the notes, is the next thing.
Trust.
A trust can do that.
I always think of a trust as a will on steroids.
Oh.
It's like a will supersized.
Okay.
So that's where you say, okay, my estate's a little more complicated. And by complicated, I mean, you could have a couple of, maybe 2 properties, a couple of investment accounts.
It's important if you have a business or something like that. Yeah.
Business, investment property, it's a no-brainer. Or any details in how you want the money passed on.
Yeah.
That isn't just, just give my money to them.
Okay.
If you want any other kind of specifics, a trust is really going to help. And there's a lot of different types of trusts. The most common is called a revocable trust, meaning you can make changes to it. It's revocable. There are things that are called irrevocable trusts. Believe it or not, there are reasons to use something that you can't make changes to. But there's marital trust, AB trust, there's all kinds. This is really where you then do sit down with a state attorney. You say, these are the things we have. These are the things we want to do. What's the right product? Because
a trust, which when we did our estate planning, we did it. And a trust can own things.
Correct.
Which is interesting. So then the trustees, the owners of the trust, which are you and I for our trust right now, we're like the owners of the business trust, except it's not a business, but like owners of the trust. Entity. So we get to use items in the trust however we want.
Correct.
The owner is the trust. Like on paperwork, it's like, who's buying this? The trust is buying this.
Yes.
Okay.
And we as trustees are essentially one and the same as the trust. Okay. So we can act as the trust.
Okay.
While we're alive. And once we die, then the trust owns the stuff.
Yeah. There's no transfer, really. It just stays with the trust and the trustees change.
Correct. Not for things that are already owned by the trust. But let's say, for example,
okay.
Well, but let's think, for example, other assets like my 401k.
Yeah.
The trust doesn't own that.
Well, that's true.
I own that. Yeah. But the beneficiary can be the trust. So then when I die, it goes there.
Okay.
Or it's you in our case, and then the trust if you were to pass. And then the trust winds up being like a collection plate for all of the different accounts and assets.
Okay.
And then based on the specifics of how you want that transferred out, 10% to this charity, 5,000 to that person, and then the remainder to Susie and Bobby. It'll loop all those assets in that collection plate, splice them and dice them based on how you decided, and then distribute them.
Yeah. This is something that an estate attorney could probably explain a little bit clearer, but basically...
I mean, they'll use fancy legal terms. We'll use splice and dice as a thing, but...
The biggest thing about trusts is it avoids probate. It doesn't have to... Your assets don't have to go through a court system to be distributed.
Correct. So let's take a beat on probate, because people think probate's a bad thing.
Well, yeah, it has a bad rap. I'm just going to say...
It does have a bad rap.
Like, I just remember when we set up our trust, it costs money, right? You have to hire an attorney. And it was like, you either pay the attorney now to set up the trust, or you pay the attorney later
a lot
to represent
more money,
you in probate.
Yeah, a lot more money later.
So, I mean,
yeah,
it's not.
So I think probate is just the legal process of your will being read and going through the courts. So we still have a will, even though we have a trust.
Yes.
The will, when I pass away, my will get read in court during probate. It's just the process of my will being read.
Okay.
But the will say, Nick died. He's leaving all his assets to the
trust.
Russell Trust.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, thank you very much. Boop, and he'll hit his mallet.
Oh.
And then you go in a private room with...
I think it's a gavel, by the way.
It is a gavel.
Go ahead.
Gavel. I need a gavel.
Okay.
On the side of my head. And then you'll go in a private room with the estate attorney and read the trust. And the trust will be read to you and any other people I've named in the trust.
Okay.
Yeah. So
interesting.
It does obviously help. And it's not, but probate shouldn't be seen as this like really scary thing. It's only a scary thing if you haven't put your right documents in place. So trusts become a really nice way to pile in all your wishes and hopes and all the stuff you talk about in a will, like, oh, I want Susie to get the china and I want so-and-so to get my car. You can put that all in your trust as well. Mm-hmm. It becomes like a catch-all for any of that stuff. And like you said, while you're alive, you still act as the owner. Mm-hmm. And there are some legal benefits to that as well while you're alive, just lawsuits and things like that.
So it can save, and it can save taxes though. Because how does it, I don't understand. But basically, like say your house goes to the trust or is owned by the trust. I think you can put your primary residence in the trust. You
can. I will tell you it's from a state to state basis, whether or not that makes sense. So in Florida, where we're located, your primary residence is already free from lawsuit and is held at a higher protection than say an investment property.
Okay.
So why our primary residence we own, and then our investment property the trust owns is for that reason. Oh. Is that way if we get sued, someone slips and falls at rental property, it's like packaged off from like a primary residence.
All right.
So the will and the trust are really the what happens when I die.
And they're two really important documents you need.
Really important.
Okay. So what's next?
Stuff while you're alive.
Alive stuff.
Alive stuff.
Let's
first one's power of attorney.
Why would anyone, I guess, need the power of attorney?
So power of attorney lets someone else help make financial and legal decisions for you.
Okay.
So there used to be two powers of attorney. There's power of attorney for finances, power of attorney for medical. Now they call the medical one a healthcare proxy. They function kind of the same way. It's saying I'm still alive, but I'm incapable of making decisions for myself. I either
in that event, here's who I want to make those decisions for me.
And believe it or not, I looked this up as early as this morning because I knew we were going to record today. Because I was curious about state law. We've had a lot of state law changes from state to state. And it used to be a given that your spouse is your primary power of attorney. As soon as you get married, they're your power of attorney. And I read that in most states, that's not the case. That you should. So even more of an issue now, your next of kin, when it comes to medical decisions.
So it kind of is, but it
kind
isn't.
of is, but it isn't. So let's say I wind up with Alzheimer's or something where I'm alive, but I can't make decisions for myself. You can't access my 401k or any accounts that just have my name on them without a power of attorney. That's the hang up. You can access all our joint stuff, anything in your name. But if it's solely in my name, we're at a crossroads. You'd have to prove that I'm mentally incapacitated by a court of law. And then be granted a power of attorney after the fact, which, as you can imagine, costs a ton of money and is not the most comfortable thing to do, right? You're not grieving, but you're not probably wanting to deal with that.
You're already in a stressful situation.
Yeah.
So you can name someone your power of attorney?
You can. You're my power of attorney. I'm yours, just in case you're wondering. We also have backup power of attorneys. I don't know if you remember.
Love a plan B.
Wow, you don't remember doing this?
I do remember doing all of it. But honestly, it's why we wrote it all down. Because we did so much.
We did.
Like we did the whole gamut of estate planning. So it was a lot. And so.
But what's the nice thing? I joke about you don't remember this, but that's the whole point of getting this stuff done is that it's done. We don't have to think about it again unless we have a life change or something.
Yeah.
So you are my power of attorney. God forbid something happens to me and I'm alive, but I'm incapacitated. You can talk to all the doctors on my behalf. You could talk to all the banks, mortgage companies. You could call Sunrise Wealth Advisors and ask about my accounts. You are my legal power of attorney. Healthcare proxy, I mentioned briefly, but it's kind of the power of attorney for medical decisions.
Okay.
What if you're not married?
Yeah. What if you're not married?
Name somebody else.
Someone you trust that would
someone you trust.
Like that would make the decisions that you would want, or that you have a discussion with ahead of time and say, if this happens, this is the way I want to go.
And believe it or not, this becomes challenging for some people.
It's hard.
Yeah, because is it going to be a sibling? Is it going to be a parent if they're still alive? Is it going to be a child?
Yeah, and I've heard
Which
of people
child?
That name friends because sometimes it's too hard as a family member to make those decisions. You're too close to it. So, a trusted person with that. So,
and it's not a permanent thing. You can change who your power of attorney is. But yeah, it's something you want to put some thought into.
And this is an estate attorney can do this too?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Nice.
It might be a good time to point out now, all of these things can be done by an estate attorney. Or there are a lot of services online now where you can get something generic that you can get pretty inexpensively. They usually have to be reviewed by a paralegal or an attorney anyway.
Yeah, and there's so many things that vary state to state that it's good to have something, but make sure it is a good fit for your situation.
Let's say it costs you $1,500 to do your basic estate planning, but it costs you $500 to download it offline. I would just recommend paying the $1,500 and having an estate attorney do the documents per state law. They're liable for it, specific to your needs. To me, that's well worth paying.
And the other perk of that is too, I found at least, is if something happens, we have a binder with all of our information in it. Then your loved one can go to the binder and call the attorney for clarification on anything.
So I wrote down 3 words here: clarity, control, and peace of mind.
Oh.
Right. So those are the things. That's why. That's the why you need to be doing this. It's for clarity, control, and peace of mind.
Okay.
And you're absolutely right. My business card and the estate attorney's business card should be in everybody's estate plan documents. Because my
friend calls it a death binder.
Death binder.
It kind of is true, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that you're not going to look at that binder until you die.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
That's fair.
So those are kind of the core 4, if you will. There's also a living will. I kind of loop into that.
Oh, how's that different?
Oh, well, let's say living will. So living will actually became really important and popular. I guess it's a weird word to use. But do you remember the Terry Schiavo case here in Florida where she was in like non-responsive but some of her parents wanted to let her live, but somebody wanted to pull the plug. She didn't have any of that written down.
Any directive. Okay.
And so there was no one listed. And so now this case went on for like ages.
Oh, they had to fight it out in court?
Yeah. On what to do with this poor girl that was
sad.
Yeah. So living will basically talks about your final, wishes for like, resuscitate me, don't leave me plugged in for a little bit, then unplug me, like, give me a chance to come back.
Yeah.
Coming back. So that's in there too. That's really part of your core 4, and then a trust if your situation kind of dictates it.
Okay.
So
core 4.
So yeah. So what other things do we need to think about when it comes to estate planning?
So the next progression there is obviously something we've talked about a lot is beneficiaries.
Absolutely.
So like you obviously think that your will names who gets what, but the people on the other end, it needs to be listed on the other end as well to make sure that those people get it, right? So the will can be like, Nick gets all my money, but my 401k needs to say, give the money to Nick. Like,
correct.
Okay.
So what happens, let me ask you a question. What happens if the will says leave all my money to Nick, but your 401k says leave all my money to my ex-husband?
Well, it's not good. We've talked about this many times.
Yeah. Who gets the money?
My ex-husband.
Absolutely.
Because what? Beneficiaries override wills?
They do.
Hot dog. That's
beneficiaries override wills. Ownership and beneficiaries override wills. So if there's a joint owner, like let's say my mom and I have a bank account.
Yeah.
And I die, my mom gets that money. That's not your money.
Even though the will says it. I mean, that'll cause some
because she's a joint owner.
That people will throw down over that kind of stuff.
Just think about what a great relationship you and my mom have. And it would get destroyed over this one bank account I had with her. Poor mom.
Poor mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So beneficiaries are a big deal. So a couple of things we've talked about in the past, but we can dive into a little bit. Retirement accounts have beneficiary designations.
Yeah, and they ask for them.
And they ask for them. So if you haven't, it's a great time to check your beneficiaries on all your retirement accounts. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's not the ex-wife or ex-husband. Make sure it's not
a minor child.
Minor child. That's not going to work. So make sure you leave it to someone appropriate.
Yeah.
There are also things as contingent beneficiaries.
Yeah.
So I can have you listed as my primary. And in our case, a lot of times the trust is listed as our contingent. So God forbid something happened to us at the same time.
Yeah.
Or I died.
There's a secondary.
Then you died without making changes. It could still go into our state.
Yeah. And if you're older too, we actually have a friend too. You need to make sure that your beneficiary is still also alive.
Alive. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was younger, I had my mom as one of my beneficiaries. Mm-hmm. And I'm still moving and shaking.
Yeah, no, but it happens if you haven't updated those things in a while.
Yeah. And most people haven't.
So
I mean, it could be a lot.
And something I learned that's incredibly simple to do is everyone at this point, I think, has a bank account of some sort.
Yeah.
And it floors me that there is a thing, it's called payable upon death, POD, or transferable on death. And the banks don't even ask for it.
Nope.
But you can go request it. And what it does is it designates someone that will have access and get your account, money, funds, when you die. Otherwise, it goes through probate.
Bingo.
So if there's not a co-owner of the account, most married couples, have it, but,
not everybody.
Even Nick and I have separate accounts.
Yep.
So he's named as my payable upon death. And then we have a secondary. You can put a secondary person. I don't know why. I forget the reason, but banks aren't allowed to ask for it when you start the account or something. It's something really weird. Yeah. You have to initiate signing up. And it's such low-hanging fruit, right?
Yeah. From a pure service standpoint.
Yeah.
What people are amazed when they come into me with me and we're looking at their non-qualified money. I'm like, oh, you like your checking account, savings, CDs, money market.
Yeah, anything with a regular bank.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, you don't have a payable on death. They're like, what is that?
Because sometimes people will need that money to take care of funeral expenses.
Absolutely.
Or that's what you intended, right? Like, well, I've got money in the bank, to pay for the funeral. Well, not if they can't access it. Yeah. So that is I'm just amazed.
Do you remember what happens if you show up to the bank? Like if I were to show up and say, oh, mom passed away, here's her death certificate. I need to close out her account. Do you remember we talked about this a while back? What would happen?
With or without the POD?
Without the POD.
They'd say no. Jose.
They would say, thank you for letting us know she passed away.
Yeah.
We're going to freeze her account.
Yeah.
No more transactions in or out. So now everything will bounce.
So now you can't even use their debit card.
You can't use any of it. Now, you're not supposed to use the debit card after they died, Becky.
Wait, you're right. Everything will bounce, which means any reoccurring payments, like a mortgage or credit card, will then go through, and then you have problems with other accounts.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It gets really ugly real fast. So I know this is not advice, but I know people wait to tell the bank the person passed away until they can clean up all the other bills and cancel their cell phone bill and their Amazon account.
Oh, Lord,
all their reoccurring prescriptions and all that. I mean, there's a lot of administrative work that goes into helping after someone dies. Yeah. But a POD, a payable on death, is critically important. It should be on every bank account there is.
And you have to ask for it.
So
and they would yeah, okay, fine.
They're happy to do it. Doesn't take very long. Make sure you have your beneficiary's information. Normally, name, address, birthday, social. But just get them on there. They have no control over the account until you pass away.
Yeah. And it can also be a trust.
It could be a trust. Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be a family member. I know I keep using my mom as an example or us, but it could be anybody. And then for an investment account, they just call it a TOD, transfer on death.
Okay.
But it's essentially the same thing.
Okay.
And these are for non-retirement accounts. And so, I think that's critically important, and they will override the will. So you need to make sure your beneficiaries are
override a will. So it doesn't matter if your will is current if your beneficiaries are not.
Yeah. So
Damn.
How about something that's been, obviously it's a big deal now, but wasn't a big deal, let's say 25 years ago?
Passwords.
Everything
I'm out
online.
of passwords. They've sucked me dry of passwords. I don't even listen. I'm at the point now, and Nick knows this at home, when there is something that requires me to
create
download
a login and download
a freaking app and create a new login. I am done. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't.
Becky's going off the grid, everybody. This is the last time you're ever going to see her. She's going to be living with the hippies out on a farm somewhere.
But I've noticed that a lot of websites, though, are like, you're right, it's too much. Let me just send you a one-time 6-digit code. Because people can't remember it anymore. It's like, how many times can you get your password wrong? It's too much.
Do you know how many times I have to type in a 6 or 7-digit code a day here because of all the logins I have for work? No. Every hour, I'm typing in another 6-digit code. It's crazy.
I hate it. We were in Austin and we wanted to make a reservation at a place, and it was download our app, and I was like, we're not going there. I'm sorry.
I just didn't get to eat there. I just didn't get to try it because Becky didn't want to download the app.
Okay, so digital assets is what you have written down here, and so that would be all your online accounts, which at this point now everyone has numerous.
Everything you have a login and password for. So that feels insane.
It's ridiculous.
But there are a few services out there. Bitwarden is one. I feel bad. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. There's a bunch of services out there that are encrypted, attached to your web browser, and will store your logins and passwords.
Yeah, but you probably need a password.
You need a password to get in it and a login.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
But you can store that username and login with your estate planning and say, so you have access to all of my online accounts. Mm-hmm. Here's the master login and password and how you access this thing. And then they're all saved in there, and they'll all pre-fill on the websites, and they have the websites attached to them. Because you're talking about email. You're talking about bank accounts. You're talking about credit cards. You're talking about social media. You're talking about cloud storage for Apple. You're talking about, you know what, nowadays? How about cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
Everybody's
a digital wallet. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Because those are tricky too. You have taught me this.
They're really
tricky. First of all, it's like a gajillion randomly
16-word encryption,
16-digit encrypted password. And the worst part about it is you only get 3 tries, or you're shut out forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
So this sounds silly, but Nick and I practice it because we want to be able to do it right if we ever need it.
Yeah.
And it's insane. So, but
what a sin for us to have money and assets and be diligent about it.
Protect it.
All for you to not be able to access it later because I would
probably, like everyone else, you panic, you get the first one wrong, sweat starts going down your face.
Well, there's that guy who had 600 Bitcoin or something, couldn't get into his wallet. Yeah.
Or he threw it away. And, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So there's a lot that we do online now.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going away anytime soon. So I stress cybersecurity as an important thing, just in identity theft protection.
Absolutely.
Those things with clients. But this is something that you need, you either need it, believe it or not, written down on a piece of paper, like your logins and passwords.
Preach. That's where I'm going, friends.
Yeah. And that needs to be stored with your estate planning.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, how often are you required to update your passwords and logins? So then you have to be able to keep that up to date. So I find an electronic source that itself is encrypted with one master password is what I use.
Okay.
But I would, I think you need something, because if somebody passes away, you can't shut off their Facebook account or log on to pay their credit card or their insurance or anything, because it's all
mortgage,
online.
all that stuff.
Yeah. I sound like my mom. It's all online. Why can't you?
Listen, I'm with her. I'm ready to shut it all down and go back to a home phone. But anyway.
If you buy a landline, we are going to.
So the digital assets. So you need to make a list.
Yeah.
Secure your passwords.
Yes.
And tell somebody
You have to tell somebody where
that is, or name somebody who's in charge of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you include that in your estate planning documents, the person who's your executor is going to then immediately have access to it. I can't imagine you naming somebody else.
It's probably good to name somebody, though, in your will so that, if you have a possibility of contention in the family, it's not like, oh no, Joe's got all the accounts. You know what I mean? Like,
that's 100% what happens. One person is named, and then one person takes care of it. And all the brothers and sisters and cousins and everybody, half of them are relieved. They don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And half of them, I don't want to say they don't trust the other person.
Like offended.
But they're like offended they weren't chosen.
I mean, that's just family.
That is family. That's why you write it down. You make it clear and concise. This is how it's going to be done. No emotion. Let's grip it and rip it when I die.
And this probably should also include the password for your phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you think face thing is great? I mean, it's great until you're dead and you have to like hold the phone over their face at the funeral. And just be like, open casket. And then you can get into their phone.
Yeah.
I mean, but after that, how do you unlock it? Fingerprint? Not going to happen.
This is overwhelming.
Yes. It's great. I'm going to go home and cry. No. So there's those assets. I mean, if we're not building a case for why everybody should do their estate planning, and look, we're in our early 40s and we did it. Right?
Yeah, but it's
you don't have to wait till you're 60, 70, 80. Like this should be done.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And if it's overwhelming for you now to keep track of like all those things, imagine someone trying to do it on your behalf without any instructions.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I like this little bit that you added here. Keeping your financial junk drawer organized. Is that like that drawer that has all our chip clips and rubber bands and a scissor and a corkscrew?
All very useful things.
And other random stuff that's jammed in the back?
Sometimes we need those things.
Okay.
But yes.
So this is, oh my God, this is you. It's the pile, folder or shoebox, check, where you toss old bank statements, insurance policies, retirement account info, passwords, and mystery paperwork.
I love a good pile, friends.
It's cluttered, confusing, hard to sort through.
For everybody else.
Especially for your loved ones if something happens to you. Let me take a moment to give you an insight into my life at home. This junk drawer lives on our counter.
It is sorted through. I do go through it on occasion because Nick hates it. But I am a pile maker, and that's just who I am through and through, and it eventually goes into files, but it just needs to take a beat on our counter. I
love that you added this part. So let me teach you how to organize that, Becky. If you're a Becky and you're a piles person, how to organize it. Gather everything, paper and digital, put it all in one place. One place would be nice. I don't care if it's a file cabinet, it's safe.
In the pile.
There's so many piles in my house
like,
right now.
You know, hardwoods have to acclimate to your home. Like it comes in, I just need to let it sit, like get used to where it is, and then it goes somewhere. All right, I'll stop.
By the way, that's the same rule for Goodwill, right? When we're donating stuff.
Everybody knows Goodwill stuff has to go riding around in your trunk for at least 2 weeks.
Bingo. You put a pile in the house somewhere for a while, then it's a pile in your trunk for at least 2 weeks.
At least.
And then it makes it to Goodwill. So, just try to toss what's old and dated. Yeah. I mean, every year after tax season, we host like a shredding event here at our office. We've done it the last couple of years, gives everybody a chance to go, okay, what's everything that's too old and I don't need? I can go ahead and shred it securely. It's honestly the same. You don't need bank statements from 20 years ago.
No, and I do that. I like to keep paper documents for things because I find them easier to access than using a password.
Shocker. What if you didn't pick up on that from the first time we brought usernames and passwords?
But I only keep like 6 to 8 months back of like any mortgage statements or stuff like that.
Only 6 to 8 months, folks.
I know.
They're all available online, but 6 to 8 months.
But I got to use a password. And quite frankly, that is a barrier too high for me. It bothers me. But anyway.
Yeah. You're doing great. This is great.
So
people are getting a lot of insight. All the people that listen are like, Becky's amazing. Be like, she's also a piles person. So no one's perfect. It's okay.
So sort it all out. Keep only the most updated version of what you need in labeled files, which we do have.
Your note here says go digital. It says
it doesn't.
Flip the page.
You added that.
Go digital.
I did not put that in there. But it's true. You can scan important papers and store them on, cloud or whatever you need a password for.
There's enough reasonable like online backup systems for data and things, cloud storage. And I do like you did, right? Review it once a year, just like a checkup. I like this as a strategy. So like when clients meet with me for their annual review, this is a great time to now scrap everything that's more than a year old that we don't need, or upload we have a portal where people can upload documents in an encrypted way, and it stays there and safe and sound.
Annual meetings or taxes is a good time to do that. And I would also say this includes your estate planning stuff. Make sure it's current. Unfortunately, and this is true, we've had experience with close friends that whose loved ones have gone in for a surgery and it has not ended well. And they didn't know where to find anything. And it was a decade old and it added so much stress to everything. So make sure if you have any big major life events coming up.
So let's talk about like the life events, why you would update your estate planning. Let's say you're one of those people that group of people that's already got it done. Mm-hmm. So obviously marriage or divorce, that's has a big financial impact. New children, children coming of age of majority, so over 18.
People passing away, especially any beneficiaries,
trustees, anybody associated within your plan. Any new assets, so start a new business, buy a new house, investment property, that kind of stuff has to get included there.
And health changes.
And any health changes,
Yeah, so review it all your digital, all your wills, all your trusts, and it should be simple. It should just be your read through and make sure everything's still current. It's there. Someone knows where it is. You know where it is, so you can tell somebody.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot, but
it's a heavy lift at the beginning. Yeah.
Once you do the planning, so you meet with your financial advisor. We're big fans of giving someone a financial inventory. So basically, we break down all of their assets in a list. Mm-hmm. Then you could take that to the estate attorney.
And the estate attorney was so great. It was like, here's everything we own. And then she emailed and called us consistently. And she's like, have you updated the beneficiary? Have you updated the beneficiary? Like she stayed on us so that everything.
Can't speak for every estate attorney like that, but that office runs like a machine. Yeah. And I love it.
It was great.
And then, from year to year, nothing has really changed for us. In a couple of years, we'll have, daughter will hit age of majority. So we'll go in there and do a quick little addendum.
Maturity.
What'd I say?
Majority.
Age of majority. She gets 51% voting rights in that, and she thinks she has it now.
Yeah, but it just changes, and so it's just good to look over it. And if you have any personal opinion, any plans change. Maybe you decided you want something else to happen. You learned more information.
Yeah. So. And I would highly recommend a state attorney in your own state where you live, because every state to state has slightly different rules. And estate attorneys, like financial advisors, it's like going to confession to the priest. Like, tell us everything. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to draw it up the right way, right? There's no reason to hide anything from the estate attorney. If you tell them what's going on, they're going to draw it up the way it needs to be drawn up, so everything gets done the way you want it.
Yeah. And it's good. So you can think about those things, discuss them when you're not under a lot of stress, when you have time and ability to make those decisions. So
then you sign all the paperwork. Mm-hmm. You put it in that binder in the bookcase or in the safe or the file cabinet, and you don't think about it again.
For another year.
And then you check in every year. And then I think before, like you said, a major surgery or anything that could be like a potentially scary event, you just thumb through it and go, yep, everything's the same.
Yep.
And you have that peace of mind.
Yep.
So not bad for a heavy topic. Not bad. I think we did great. Great job for us.
Good job.
No one's clapping.
Okay. All right.
What do you got? Do you have any kind of fun estate planning fact?
Did you know?
Oh, did you know? Okay. It's not called a fun fact because it's about dying. Is that what I'm reading here?
Yeah.
I won't even read. Give me the deets. What are the deets on this? Did you know?
A recent survey. So from caring.com, their 2024 wills and estate planning study. It's found that only 32% of adults reported having a will in 2024.
Wow.
So a third of the people have something actually written down, according to this study.
Oh.
So the good news is...
Oh, wait, hold on. And it's down from the year earlier.
Yeah. So I read this whole article, and apparently everyone was like on top of it during the pandemic.
Shocker.
Like, people were motivated to get their life in order.
When the world was falling apart.
And then interest, if you will, has declined since then. However, older Americans are more likely to have a will. So the percentage increases.
I sure would hope so.
People over 55, nearly 50% of people over 55 have a will.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, it'll never be 100%. That number probably should be 75, 80% optimally.
Yeah. And there are some barriers, right? I mean, it costs money. Yeah. It's a lot to think about. And some people just prefer not to think about those things or discuss them. Or maybe they don't know that it has to be legally done. You know, like you can't just write it down.
Oh.
And
I have
it's done.
People who have handwritten notes and signed it.
And it means
said,
bubkus.
Put this in the file in case something happens to me. And I'm like, you realize this doesn't do anything. Like, this is a conversation we're having.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary.
So there are some online resources, as Nick mentioned, but it's important to note that rules and laws vary state to state. And so depending on the complexity of your estate, may mean that you choose a different path. Either you go with an online simple fill in the blank, or you want to hire an attorney. So figure out what's best for you, but definitely look into it and have it done the right way.
Yeah. Do you get Starbucks 3 times a week? If you do, 1 year of that is what it would cost you to do your basic estate planning.
Oh, I thought you were asking me. I'm like, no, I don't go to Starbucks. Okay.
No, I know you don't.
Okay.
We make coffee at home. That's how we save money to do our estate planning. Yeah.
But I would say, as I said, if you're going to leave with anything today, like the lowest hanging fruit is to go to your bank and do a payable on death for your accounts. Like, that's the easiest, doesn't require an attorney, doesn't cost any money, nothing. And that will at least take care of your non-retirement assets.
And then your retirement assets would have beneficiaries. So take a moment, go through those accounts, check the beneficiaries, make updates if needed. Because again, the beneficiaries are the first line, right?
Yeah.
So if you have those updated, it's probably going to take care of most of your stuff, unless you have a more complicated scenario.
Yeah, and if you own property and stuff, there's an estate attorney could tell you there's stuff like ladybird deeds and stuff, way to pass stuff down. So anyway.
You do remember some of the conversation we had with the attorney.
Look at me. Gold star. So anyway, estate planning and death and dying is obviously not a lighthearted subject, but it is 100% easier to do it ahead of time.
Yeah. Than in the moment?
In the moment, and risk anything you intended to go wrong.
Yeah, it could get really weird really fast. Like, husband and wife, one of them's losing their memory. So the other one becomes the POA, power of attorney. Then they do the trust or will. And now the kids are like, well, that's not the way dad would have wanted. I mean, all of a sudden, and now we're on our second marriage, hopefully last for the record.
Yeah.
But second marriage, there's enough people with second, third marriages, kids from multiple, marriages, that all of a sudden that gets way more complex. Is it going to be his, hers, ours? Like, how does this money get distributed down? And, but I think really good low hanging fruit, bank accounts for the PODs, TODs for your non-qualified or non-retirement investment accounts, and your beneficiaries retirement accounts is a great place to start. And then after that, I would talk to your financial advisor, see if they can help make you a financial inventory list, something you could take to the attorney to make your time at the attorney easier, right?
And to make it comprehensive and actually useful, so you don't miss anything.
Yeah, because you would hate to show up. A lot of people just go to the attorney and they're like, "Great, what do you have?" And they're like, "The stuff." It's like okay, well, we're going to need something more specific than stuff. So if you invest a little bit of time early, like you said, it's way less stressful than later.
Yeah.
So nice job, Becky.
Thanks, Nick.
Nice job. Thank you. Is that everything we had?
Yeah. And,
okay.
Of course, as we said, death and taxes. So
yeah, there's no getting away from that.
Oh, that's what I wanted to also share is that don't forget also when someone passes away, you do have to file a final tax return.
Oh yeah. I thought it was so fun that you brought that up.
Yeah.
So Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I pass away in the middle of the year. I was alive and earned an income for half the year. So I have to have a tax return. Now, if my estate doesn't get settled by the end of the year and it rolls into next year, post-death, my estate will have to file a tax return.
Yeah.
So if there's interest earned or investments, whatever, while I'm dead.
They always want taxes. They are going to find you, even when you're dead. So
this is a good financial advisor, estate attorney, CPA then at that point conversation. So get your ducks in a row. Moral of the story is it's so much easier getting it done, like you said, now while you're not stressed, not sick, not grieving. Just to do it now, invest the money, and then
have peace of mind.
Have peace of mind. Yeah. So, for any other information you would like or questions you may have based on this information, you could feel free to reach out to us on the website, sunrisewealthadvisors.com. We're available on all the social medias, most of the social medias. I think there's too many right now. There's probably some that kids use that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
I'm not hip and cool anymore. I know, hard to believe. Social media, the website, and I would say as much as we know and want to share, we're not estate attorneys. So feel free to reach out, find a local resource. If you are local to me, to us, I could even refer a few to you. So hope everybody learned something today, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Nick and Becky. As always, a fascinating podcast, and we're looking forward to your next podcast. And thank you for listening to today's Can I Retire Now podcast. Until the next time, for Nick and Becky, I'm RJ Malik.
Thank you for listening to the Can I Retire Now podcast. Click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Visit our website at www.sunrisewealthadvisors.com or give us a call at 407-351-3476. And don't forget to click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Can I Retire Now? The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning. The views depicted in this material are for informational purposes only and not necessarily those of Cetera Advisors. They should not be considered specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Neither Cetera Advisors nor any of its representatives may give legal or tax advice. Securities and advisory services offered through Cetera Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer and registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity. 6052 Turkey Lake Road, Suite 101, Orlando, Florida, 32819.